Hey guys, welcome back. It's Kate. For today's video, I'm going to be rounding up a bunch of my Frankie Rose favorites to create this natural everyday look. So stay tuned if you want to see. To get started, I'm going to use the Prime Addiction Face Primer. It comes in this really gorgeous little jar. I love the packaging of it a lot. It has this sort of like clear whipped texture to it. I apply this with my finger. You don't need a ton at all, and I like to just kind of dot this around, and then I use my fingers to gently smooth this out. And this has a super silky texture, and it's just gonna set our face up for an absolutely flawless canvas. From there, I'm gonna use my Frankie Rose Matte Perfection Foundation. This is one of my holy grail foundations. It is so good. I love the formula. I love the coverage of it. It's absolutely flawless. And I use the shade Neutral. When I'm a little bit more on the tan side, then I typically will use Olive, but right now this is a really good match for me. And I like to apply mine with a beauty blender. I think it just disperses the product so evenly and nicely. As you can see, it just really does a beautiful job of covering up any little imperfections, any discoloration, and then just making it look like you have this perfect skin. And while this is called the Matte Perfection Foundation, the thing that I do like about this is I don't feel like it's too matte. Like everything's gonna stay in place and you're not gonna look dewy or oily by any means, but I do feel like the formula of this was formulated just so nicely that it still gives your skin some life. It doesn't look dry or dull or anything, never looks cakey. So I just really like that about this. And I always bring my foundation down my neck to blend. I typically tan my entire body and stop right at my neck, so I'm always matching to the rest of me rather than like my actual face. Once my foundation is all blended out, I'm gonna move right into concealer, and for today I'm using the Frankie Rose, our Little Secret Concealer, and this is in the shade Fresh. If I use the shade Olive in foundation, then typically I stick with the shade Chai. But this covers and it really brightens. And I really love the formula of this. It is full coverage, but has a little hydration to it. And it's just absolutely beautiful and love. Typically, once I have my foundation and concealer on, I go through and set my entire face with a translucent setting powder. So I went ahead and did that, and that's gonna help ensure that any other powder product that I am putting on my face is gonna glide on just really flawlessly and seamlessly, and it's not going to cake up at all or have any patchiness. So now that I do have my entire face set, I'm gonna move into contouring and bronzing. I'm gonna be using the Frankie Rose Pro Contour Palette for this. As you can see, this gets a lot of love for me. It's one of my favorite contour palettes to use. It's a super nice palette. I love the mirror, and then it comes with 6 shades. So we have some of your lighter shades at the top that you could use for setting your under eyes and a banana powder to brighten, and then a shimmery highlight shade. And then down at the bottom, we have 3 different bronzers that you can kind of mix and match to create whatever sort of bronze that you want for your skin tone. That's typically what I do. Start out, I'm gonna take this lighter shade Tempting, and I'm gonna mix it with Heated, and I'm gonna use it on an angled fluffy brush and place it in the hollows of my cheeks and start blending that. And then I always like to bronze up my forehead and just bring it around a little to make it look natural. And then I always go around my jawline just super lightly to give a little bit of structure and shape. The same down my nose. Don't like to over contour it too much, but just a little definition on the sides and at the tip. And then I do bring it down my neck just to really blend and bronze it up a tad. And then just for a little added depth and warmth, I'm gonna take this shade Whisper, which is the darkest color. I'm very, very lightly adding it to a fluffier angled brush and just gonna lightly do little circles in the same spots, but this is just to add a little more bronze and like just got back from vacation sort of look. Next, I'm moving on to eyes, and I'm going to use the Frankie Rose Pro Contour Palette to do my eyeshadow look, and I'm just going to stick with a natural, like everyday sort of theme for this. So I'm going to start out by taking the lightest bronzer shade, and that is going to be my transition color that I'm popping into my crease. Then I'm going to take the middle bronzer shade on a slightly fluffier brush, and I'm just going to place that into the outer corner and just kind of start blending towards the middle. And this is just to give a little depth and definition. From there, I'm going to take Dollface, which is this middle highlight shade up here, and I'm gonna place that with my finger in my inner corner and start blending that towards the middle of my lid. And this is just gonna brighten that up a little bit, but won't be anything that is too dramatic, still very wearable. Then I'm going to go in with the Frankie Rose Mascara to plump up these lashes. So here is one eye done, and now I'm going to go ahead and finish up the other side. So we got mascara on, and I'm going to move on to blush. I have two from Frankie Rose that I really like mixing together, and the first one is Starburst, and it is like this really pretty peachy sort of coral shimmery blush. It has a super gorgeous finish to it, and I love the flush that it adds to the cheeks. And then I also really love this one in the shade Romantica. This is like more of a natural sort of pale pink shade, and it is matte, but the two of these together are just so nice. I love layering them. I like to start by putting Romantica down first and just kind of blending that back. Then I take Starburst, and this just helps add a little extra pop of color and flush to the cheeks without being too much or looking too glittery or anything. So I just think the two of these are like made for each other, and it's a super pretty combo. I really just have a few steps left, so I'm going to add some highlight. I'm going to use Sultry Glow, which is the shimmery shade in the Pro Contour Palette. So I'm just going to dust that on. This just adds a nice, natural-ish, dewy glow to the skin. And I think it is absolutely stunning. And I just have lips left, so I'm going to use the Frankie Rose lipstick in Apricot. It's a gorgeous nude. Absolutely love this color. And then to add a little bit of life and like pop back into my lips, I'm going to use this gloss in Girl Boss. This is my absolute favorite shade of theirs. It is just so pretty and has a hint of pink and a little bit of shimmer to it. But this is my go-to, and I just think it is the prettiest shade ever. Plus their glosses really wear comfortably. They're not sticky at all, and they're hydrating. I just love the formula a lot. But this is my finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below with your favorite Frankie Rose product. But thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to Frankie's channel for more makeup videos and tutorials. But thanks again, guys, and until next time.